I gotta record this, man. I got this beautiful music in the background as I'm sitting here in this moment, and I'm just, ready to move forward and ready to just like dive into like not only like obviously the work, but just like in becoming, you know, the better Caleb Sessions because the past couple of weeks has definitely been um, distract distracting to say the least. Um, I've allowed myself to kind of just get involved and indulged in like just a lot of lustfulness. And I did that the first time around when me and my girl had first broke up, and I kind of lost sight of my business. I lost sight of myself. And don't get me wrong, it was fun. I was able to get my first deal, and so I was able to celebrate that. But I kind of fell off a little bit, and today is my coming back of that. Man, God, I want to thank you for Adrian Browner. Being able to see him lock in on a whole nother level, mentally. And I believe that it took him really sitting down and maybe having a conversation with somebody and really like talking to himself as well and getting himself back into that mode. That's what we call it, getting into that mode, right? And that's all it takes. It takes making that commitment. It takes making that decision mentally, before anything. And I think that I want to go ahead and I think I want to go down and go ahead and put down the drink as well. I might even put down the cigars, because I want to be a real estate developer, a high level real estate developer. I want to build a real estate company that is an expert at acquisitions and being able to choose and being an expert at each exit strategy, whether that be taking down the flip myself or taking down the rental myself or wholesaling it to somebody or wholesaling the land or actually being able to develop the land and build myself. But the overall goal I will get into real estate development. Sessions Developments will be a real estate development company, but it's going to start right now as a wholesale company. I was able to be blessed enough to get my first $20,000 assignment, and I'm thankful for you, God, because man, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. I worked hard for that. I went through a breakup with somebody that I loved, and I had to remember who I was. I had to remember the things that I wanted for myself. I had to remember like all those nights, all those days where I sat at this phone or my other phone in my voice messages and I spoke life into myself and I talked to you, God. I had to look in my notebook. I had to read the things that I wrote to myself in my notebook. None of this stuff is going to be an accident. All of this is going to be intentional. When I think about women, bro, like, it's fun, bro. Don't get me wrong. But dealing with women, bro, like, it just comes with so much distraction. It's not like it used to be when I was a youngin', when I was in college. And, niggas ain't had nothing to do but fuck with women and go to class, get bare minimum grades, and just keep moving on and get closer to graduation. Back then, personally, I knew I wasn't going to do nothing with my major. I knew I wasn't going to do nothing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just kept moving forward just like I did high school, middle school, elementary school. But it got to a point in my life where I actually started to figure out what I wanted to do and the kind of man that I wanted to be. And God started shaping me through small experiences. And it's led me to where I am today. And right now, where I am today, accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish, bro, I'm going to have to turn into somebody else. I'm going to have to lock in. Just like AB, I'm going to have to lock in. And it's going to require sacrifice. sacrifice. But this lock-in isn't for, this is different. This lock-in is different. This isn't like the one I had before. This isn't like the lock-in that was before, bro, where it was like, okay, like, you know, I want to do it because I want to show my ex that I'm doing more. Like, nah, man, we had a conversation. It's no bad blood, but we done. It's no bad blood, but we done, man. All of that's over, bro. She gave me the photos, man. She gave me everything. She wiped her hands of it. She wiped her hands of it, man. She has a life, and I have a life as well. At one point, we wanted to join our lives together. It didn't work out that way. But I still have to continue my life. And what do I want my life to look like? Seeing my girl again, or my ex-girlfriend again, reminded me of how genuine our love was and how much I love. And if I'm being honest right now, I'm not in the space, bro. Because I'm very much still in love with my ex. So I'm dealing with these girls, man, and it's like, bro, like, I don't want to be that toxic nigga that's just like the rest of these guys, bro, in this world, man. I'm not the same as the rest of these guys in this world, bro. What I do requires vision. What I do requires consistency. What I do requires separation. And I think that I have to embody that, bro, entirely. I have to embody this entirely in order for me to actually accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, man. Be a millionaire. I've always said Caleb Sessoms is an American businessman, philanthropist, millionaire, entrepreneur, author, writer, motivational speaker, natural-born salesman, man of God, high-level real estate agent, high-level real estate investor, high-level real estate developer. That requires a lot of focus, gang. Going to the alley, going to Eagles Nest, going to these different clubs and these different lounges, bro, like you can't, not to say you can't do it, but bro, that has to be at a minimum, bro, 100%. Let this lock-in be different. You hear me? Let this lock-in be different, bro. Commit. You hear me? Commit, man. Commit. 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 Commit to what you want. Really commit to what you want. Commit to what you want to do in this life. Commit to what you want to do in this world. Commit to that girl. Commit to God. Commit. Whatever you want in this life, yo, commit mentally. That's what AB did. That's what we can learn from AB. He committed. And you have to too. If you want what you want, you gotta commit. And so, that's what I'm doing today. You gotta commit. You gotta sacrifice. Gotta commit, bro. That's the only way you're gonna get to it. So today, this is me committing, man. I might stop drinking, bro. Who am I trying to impress, bro? Like, when I really think about it, who am I trying to impress? Like, don't get me wrong, hanging out with her, bro, and drinking with her and shit, and it's just like, bro, hanging out with, drinking with her, hanging out with the guys, drinking with them, like, just all the little smallest things, like, who am I trying to impress at this point, bro? What do you want, Caleb? You either want this or you either want that, bro. It's no in between this shit, bro. Who am I trying to impress, bro? Yeah, it was cool drinking with Shorty and, going into the bowling alley. And it was cool drinking with, going to the bowling alley. Like, it was cool. It was cool drinking with, she came to my crib, or even drinking with her when we was out in Virginia Beach. Yeah, drinking make things fun sometimes, bro. But a lot of times it ruins your focus as well. And for what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, bro, I can't afford that, bro. Because nobody's going to make sure that I get there but me. Nobody's going to make sure you get to where you want but you, bro. So you got to commit. And you got to sacrifice. Who cares what everybody else thinks? What do you think? Already.